All right. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about.
This game, you're trying to get me. You play well, but I don't feel the same.
Okay, so if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I have been away from the boat for almost 4 months. I did not expect it to be that long. The last time you saw me, we were here in Grenada on the boat, and we were just getting a visit from one of my patrons, Sean. Amazing guy. Sean won a free trip giveaway the Christmas prior and had finally got the opportunity to come out to the boat. I was so excited to have my first patron on board. I had offered Sean this awesome week of spearfishing and adventure and diving, and none of that happened. I actually got dengue fever right as Sean arrived and basically spent a week on the couch sweating, fever, 100-degree Fahrenheit weather in the boat, at nighttime, just like clinging on for life. And Sean, you were so gracious, and I so appreciate you taking care of me and being okay with what happened during the trip. But I feel like I let Sean down, and I have a lot of regret for that. Although it was out of my control, I didn't nail it at all. The dengue wasn't the only thing that really took it out of me. So you will have seen that I think I threw out a disc in my back. I've herniated a disc in my back before, and I really hurt myself trying to avoid the boat from dragging onto the cliff face when my windlass broke. And there was a few days I couldn't walk or stand up straight because my back was so bad. Then I got dengue fever, which I really believe nearly killed me. And then I got bot flies. I had 18 bot flies, which if you don't know, it looks like a mosquito bite, and then they lay eggs inside you that turn into like larvae and eat you from the inside out. I had a massive one on my back. I have a huge scar from it. I had a bunch of them had to be cut out of my head. I had them in my legs, my chest, and Charlie got them too. We're both okay now, but all of these things happening at once made me say, okay, I need to go ahead and leave the boat. The other thing that I was dealing with was last year, to be honest, I had a great year. I had so many amazing experiences. I got to go swim with whales. I got to just really learn how to sail, and I had so many amazing sunsets and saw so many cultures, had such good food, but it was a struggle. It was a real struggle getting through the Caribbean last year. I started the journey late. I basically started as hurricane season was approaching, and so much of my journey through the Caribbean was done at the wrong time of year, so I had a lot of weather to deal with. I was always pressed for time, nervous about the storms. I got caught in Hurricane Ernesto, had to ride it out, and really, it was just by the grace of God that I survived. This is all on top of the fact that I had no idea how to sail a boat when we started. And so the learning curve of this past year and the season through the Caribbean was just so severe. I had to learn how to maintenance the boat. I had to learn how to check in and out of countries. I had to learn how to sail the boat, and I had to learn how to live on the boat and how to deal with the bugs and the illness and the stress, and it was really challenging. On top of the back injury, dengue fever, and bot flies, right before I left, I realized that I wasn't looking quite the same. I was getting a lot of comments from you guys saying, man, Chase, you look sick, we're worried about you, you need to eat more food. To just be completely honest and candid with you, I am making money, you know, as a YouTuber and as an influencer, but I wasn't making enough to single-hand a boat through the Caribbean with all these learning curves and things breaking and a renovation that really isn't finished. And so there was a lot of days where I was trying to do it, and I wasn't sleeping, and I wasn't eating. There was so many days where I'd have, like, at most a cup of ramen, and some days where I wouldn't eat anything. So I lost 40 pounds on accident coming through the Caribbean, and I'm really not a person who carries weight that I could stand to lose. So all the weight that I lost was muscle and like really critical like fat that my body needs. So I wasn't feeling like myself. So the decision was made that I would fly home early, and I just spent about a month working on my physical health, eating, getting back into the gym. It's such an important part of my life to me, is trying to stay physically fit. It makes me the happy person that I am and the confident and physically capable person that I am. And I also worked a lot on my mental health. I had some difficult relationships last year. I had some people in my life that were really robbing me of joy, and I fixed that. I spent time with my friends who really love me and care for me and give me good counsel. And I spent time with my family. My best friend got married. I stayed with him back in Charleston. And it was an amazing, amazing time. My brother got married. I got to see my sister's baby. She's engaged. My stepbrother's engaged. So I had a lot of love to kind of like surround myself with and just really like heal myself. I had a really healing winter, and I spent time with my family. I got physically healthy again, and I got mentally healthy again. The other thing that I did was I started going back to church again. I'm a religious guy. You can probably tell by some of my tattoos and maybe a few of the things that I say, but I haven't always acted like it. You know, I'm also on a reality TV show where I drink a lot. Some of the videos that I've put out on Chasing Grace don't really reflect that I'm a Christian. I don't know that I've been the best Christian. You know, I'm more of like a mainstream, like I believe in God, but I don't act like it. And I really wrestled with that this winter. You know, I had gotten to a point where I had the yacht, I was in the Caribbean, I was living my dream life, but I wasn't really happy, and I wasn't really happy with who I was. Like looking at myself in the mirror, just wasn't really stoked about it. So I got back into church, and I have made the decision that this year I'm dedicating my life to God. And if that makes you uncomfortable, I'm really sorry, because I've watched content creators before who are, you know, talk a lot about religion, and I understand the, you know, the Bible thumper, Jesus freak kind of comments that I'm probably going to get, and I want you to know that my content is going to change, but I think that it's just going to be, it's going to be who I really am. And I think that it's going to be hopefully a lot healthier. Hopefully there's going to be a lot less cussing. There's certainly going to be a lot less drinking. And I'm just trying to live my life this year, not driven by my ego, but driven by what I want God, what I think God wants me to do. Yeah. I have some apologies to make to all the patrons. You're seeing this video first. I'm just so sorry. You know, although I have some excuses because, you know, I was so sick, I was depressed, I was out of money, and I really needed to go home and work and get healthy and, you know, fix my life and get myself right. There is no excuse for leaving you in the dark. You know, all the patrons who have put money up and put time to invest in my journey and who believe in me, I just left you in the dark. You know, it would have been so easy for me to just write out, you know, where I was, my headspace, what I needed to focus on, and update you. I know that some of you were so worried that you reached out to some of my friends wondering if I was alive or not, and I'm surprised by that because I stayed pretty relevant on Instagram and I was updating people on my life and what I was doing, but at the same time, like, the first people who should hear and should be updated are the patrons, and I left everyone on YouTube in the dark, and I ghosted you guys, for lack of better terms, and I apologize. There's no excuse for that. And the people who fell off on Patreon and the people who, you know, got upset with me, I don't blame you. I totally understand. And if I was in your shoes, I would be thinking, wow, bro fell off, and why did this guy leave us in the dark, and is he okay? And so I understand, and I genuinely apologize. And I hope that doesn't happen again. It shouldn't happen again. I have been through a transformational winter. I can't stress that enough. I have healed myself, and I have really thought about what I want. You know, this last year, traveling through the Caribbean was so exciting, and the adventure really filled me, and it really grew me as a person. It was so challenging in that way, and it molded me into a stronger human being. And I love traveling on this boat. I love Grace. I love living on this boat. But I also felt really lonely. You know, I had some visits from people, my family, my friends, but it wasn't enough. I spent so much time alone, and I'm really not that person. I'm really socially driven. I want to share this boat with people. And so I started thinking to myself when I went home, I started thinking, okay, I definitely need to take more breaks next year. I need to schedule breaks and take time to leave and go work on other boats, and I need to take time to come home and be with my family to avoid burnout. Because to be honest, at the end of last year, I was so burnt out that I didn't really like the boat anymore, and I didn't really like living on the boat. And that's such a shame because this is my dream life and I've worked so hard for this to get to this point that I want to love it. And I want to love it every second that I'm on the boat, even in the tough times. So I've started thinking about the change that I'm going to make this year. The original plan, and what I told you guys, was that I was going to go west from Grenada, sail through the ABC Islands, and go to Panama, cross the Panama Canal, and work up through Central America. And that is what I've been telling everyone, like up until the point that I was about to come back to the boat. That's what I've been telling everyone. But about a week ago, I started having serious conversations with my family and my friends and my mentors, talking to them about, to be honest, I'm dreading it. I'm not really looking forward to going west through Panama because I think that last year was so challenging and I spent so much time alone and there was so much struggle to try to fix the boat and learn and go to all these new places and film, and there just wasn't enough money around for it. I wasn't eating, I wasn't healthy, and I'm dreading that if I go west, even with this new mindset and with all the new learning experiences, I'm dreading that I might not have an enjoyable year. I might have a similar year to the one I did last year. And I don't think it's time. I don't want to turn away from heading west out of fear. And I don't want to do anything out of selfish ambition either. So I'm trying to strip myself of some ego, and I'm trying to say, okay, it sounds super great to go sailing around the world and to do this, and determination is good, right? Perseverance is good. If I was just changing plans because it was hard last year, that would be bad. But I have the perseverance to keep going. I know in my heart that if I turned west and I went through Panama Canal and continued on this journey, then I could do it. I could make it happen. Would it be tough? Yeah, I could make it happen. But just being honest, I need to make some more money. I have maxed out 2 credit cards, and I am not that kind of person. Like, I did it with the renovation for this boat. I thought that I'd be able to pay those debts off by now. I owe my family some money who have helped me out so that I could try to make it work last year. And I'm so appreciative of everyone who's watched the videos and the brands that I've worked with and Patreon. But it hasn't gotten me over that hump to pay off those debts. And I'm wrestling with the fact that I owe people money. And it's not allowing me the freedom that I want. Something that's really important to me in life is freedom, and that I have options. And I want to end this year, I want to end 2025 with options and freedom, and I think that the most important thing for me is to be debt-free. So, it has been a really, really difficult decision, and I have prayed about it so much, but what I'm going to do is I am going to clean up the boat. The boat is a disaster, by the way. Let me just show you this video from when I arrived to the boat last night. Just got back. Bugs everywhere. You can see them everywhere. Oh, God. Spider webs. Oh, God. The bugs. The bugs. Oh, so many bugs. Birds had a party. Look at all the bugs. The birds had a party in the cockpit. All the bugs. No, dude. No, bro. Oh, man. This is ant killer. I don't even care, bro. Oh, my God. If you're wondering what I'm going to be doing the next week, it's suffering. Because I've left my baby unattended. And this is what's happened. I open all the freaking hatches, man. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh. The bugs. Oh, the bugs. Oh, the bugs. Yeah, get out of here, bugs. Oh. Oh, God. The spider webs. Oh, the bugs. It's not just the bugs or the bird poop. There's mold everywhere. There's rust out on the deck, on the standing rigging. Some of my lines have snapped. It is a miracle that this boat is still floating. It is by the grace of God. I left Grace on a mooring ball because I didn't even have the money to haul her out and store her properly. I mean, I literally just like prayed and prayed and prayed, and for $250 a month was all I could afford to leave her on this mooring ball. And my friends, Raph and Sasha from Spirit Animal, came and checked on her. Some of my other friends came and checked on her along the way. But it's a miracle that this boat is still here. But she is in awful condition. The bottom is disgusting. There's so much work to be done. That is step one. Step two is I'm going to depart from Grenada and I'm going to sail back to Charleston. So I think that I'm going to have a really long sail to Puerto Rico, and then I want to hit the Bahamas. There's so many reasons, but the number one reason is I need to go home and I need to make some money. And I think that this year, it's not the time to keep pushing and go west through Panama Canal. My ego tells me that I want to go west and go through Panama Canal. And because I've said that's what I'm going to do, that's what I want to do. But I think what God wants me to do and what's the right thing to do is to take a year and just train and make some money and prepare. Because at the end, if I can end this year debt-free with some money in my pocket and a lot more sailing experience and the boat in really good condition, then I have options. I can go south and I can still cross the Panama Canal, or I could go east and I could go to the Med, or I could come back and do the Caribbean again. Some of my friends who are YouTubers have done the Caribbean 3 or 4 years in a row before going through Panama Canal, and so that I have some, that consoles me, and I think that it's a normal thing that I just have to be honest and be vulnerable and say that I don't feel ready, and I don't feel that the boat is ready. I had so many close calls where I almost lost the boat last year, and I lost myself in it by just pushing and like being so focused on the goal and on making miles and getting around the world that I stopped enjoying it and I lost who I was. And then it's like, what is it even for? So I'm going to have some fun in the Bahamas on the way back. I'm going to put out a schedule, so there's going to be a couple sails on the way back to Charleston that if you want to come join me for, that's great. I was talking to some folks, you know who you are, about sailing west around this time, around February, to go to Panama with me from Grenada. And I had a crew ready to go. I thought that was the thing to do. I thought, okay, we'll have some more money coming in because we'll have paid guests. I'll have more help. It'll be easier. But it just doesn't feel right to me. So I ghosted you as well. I'm so sorry. And I'm reaching out to you now, and we'll figure it out. But if there's anyone who wants to get some miles, see what it's like to live on a sailboat, go sailing with me as I bring the boat back to Charleston. I'm about to post the dates on Patreon, and those will be the first people who get the choice. I'll have hard dates when they post. Those are the dates that we're going, maybe minus 1 or 2 days for weather. But if you see the opportunity on Patreon, it's set, it's ready, and if you'd like to come, you can come. It's not going to be expensive like a charter because you're going to be living on the boat, you're going to be working night watch, and we're going to get the boat back up north. I'm going to spend hurricane season in Charleston, and I'm going to do day charters with the boat. I'm going to take up odd jobs. I'm going to work, and I'm going to keep doing the videos, okay? It'll be videos of outfitting the boat, setting up a charter business, doing sunset sails, being on the boat and taking small adventures with the boat to maybe Savannah, Georgia, St. Augustine, maybe up north with my family during the summer when I'm not working, and, maybe taking some road trips here and there. I've got some things planned, but I need to work this hurricane season. I need to make some money. I need to pay off some debts. I do not want to be a slave, to my lenders. I want to be free. So I'm going to get that right. I'm going to do some things right on the boat, install air conditioning, work on the engine. I'd like to replace the sails. And then, at the end of this year, I'll film all of that and all the boat projects. Maybe at the end of this year, we'll have some options. But next winter, I would like to have a legitimate charter season in the Caribbean. I would like to run legitimate charters with food service and drink service and excursions planned, and I'd like to do that in the Exumas and the BVIs. So I'll have 6 weeks in the Exumas, 6 weeks in the BVIs, with some time in between for me to make the trip and prepare. And I'm going to post those dates here in the next couple months. So I want to make sure that everything's ready, and I want to make sure that it is a very fair price. It's not going to be overly expensive, but I want to run those charters. I just think that what I like and what makes me happy is sharing this boat with people and sharing the experience with people. And I'm trying to figure out a way to do that where I can pay to run the boat the correct way. I can pay to be on the dock. I can pay to haul the boat out and do the work that is needed, and I'm not running it dangerously and putting too much stress on myself. The other thing that I did while I was gone, and part of the reason why I ghosted you guys, not only was I dealing with some depression and had to work on myself and get myself back to being my normal self, but I also wanted to take the time to train. And so I spent about a month just studying, like sitting over my chart book and taking my online course for my Yachtmaster Offshore. And then I spent a month in the UK, in Plymouth, going between London and Plymouth to test for my Yachtmaster Offshore. I failed the first time. I'll be very honest with everyone about that, and there's going to be a whole video on this channel about the process of taking my Yachtmaster Offshore and my advice for anyone who wants to go and get that license. But I got it. I by the grace of God, again, I got it, and it was so difficult, y'all. It was snowing. It was 40-mile-an-hour winds. The tides in Plymouth are crazy. I was in probably one of the most, maybe the most challenging place that you can test for your Yachtmaster, and I got it. And so I'm officially a licensed captain. It allows me to captain vessels up to 200 tons, up to 150 miles, nautical miles from Safe Harbor. And one of the things that I'll be doing this year and sharing videos about is I'll be training for my Yachtmaster Ocean, which is the same thing, but with no distance restrictions. So I would be able to cross oceans and captain boats for that and get paid to do it. This is something that I really needed to have in order to have you guys on for these sailing charters. You know, it trained me on safety, from making sure that all the safety equipment is up to date to recovering a man overboard under sail. You know, it was docking under sail, it was picking up a mooring ball under sail, it was the actual chart work and the navigation of it. It was so much theory, and it was boat handling. I feel like I could turn around this 51-foot boat without a bow thruster in crazy tide, crazy winds, and get us into a dock now, where I had no confidence with that before. Like leaving the dock with this boat, I posted a video of me bumping the dock, and I just had no confidence. And that course was so good for me. And I learned so much. But it also showed me how much I don't know. When you go through a course like that, you do learn a lot, but you learn that there's this whole massive amount of knowledge that you didn't even know that you don't know. And now although I'm more confident and I'm more knowledgeable, I am also more aware of how much I don't know and how much I need to train for. So this year, I'll be practicing celestial navigation. I need to make one long, unbroken passage of at least 600 miles where I have a crew and I use celestial navigation for that passage, and that will be the marker for my oral exam for the Yachtmaster Ocean. Anyways, I'm a licensed captain, and I just had to focus, y'all. It was the toughest thing I have ever done, I ever tested for, ever studied. It was so difficult, and I got it. But it required full focus. I went home fully expecting to post videos and update you guys, and then I just, I had to do the mental work, I had to do the physical work on myself, I had to do the spiritual work on myself, and I needed to do the training and the studying to be a better captain, to be an actual captain. So I'm so sorry, and I appreciate all of you. I understand if you're upset. I understand if you're upset that I'm not going west. I understand if you're upset that the plans have changed. And I definitely understand if you're upset that I didn't update you guys for too long. But I want you to be encouraged that I feel better than ever. And I'm excited for this year. I think, we have a lot of sailing to do to get all the way back through the Caribbean. And I need to be home in Charleston by June 1st. Because that's when hurricane season starts. So I've got some long, unbroken passages ahead of me. If you like sailing videos, you're going to love them. I want some more exploration in Puerto Rico, Bahamas, and I'm going to see some friends along the way. I hope that some of you will join me along the way. And back in Charleston, we have a lot of cool things to look forward to as well. Still adventuring, a lot of boat work. We're going to get this boat dialed, and a lot of content on being an actual captain. So navigation, celestial navigation, safety checks, and what it's like to run a crew. A few other things that are scheduled this year. April, I will be running the Odyssey Sailing Festival. I will be working as first mate for Captain Glenn from Below Deck Sailing Yacht. We will be chartering in the BVIs for the Odyssey Sailing Festival. Our ship is fully booked, but there's still cabins available on some other amazing boats with some amazing captains, and you can come hang out with us for a week-long party in the BVIs. We'll be doing the same thing in September, but I'll be captaining my own yacht. Not Grace, but a big fancy new yacht over there, and so you can start looking forward to that. I'll let you guys know when those tickets go up for the cabins, and those are some really cool sailing adventures that I get to document and share with you guys this year. Also, there might be some big opportunities this summer to sail and work on some other boats in the Caribbean, and yeah, I'll have some land-based adventures too. I want to pay off my debts. I want to stay healthy, and the next time I take a really big journey with this boat and leave Charleston, I want the boat to be perfect. I don't want to be freaking out that, look, here's the reality, is if I go west through Panama right now, I have like a couple $100 to my name at like most times, at most, right? So if I go through Panama right now and my engine breaks or my mast breaks, that's it. There is no more sailing Grace around. I'd have to sail the boat, and I don't want to do that. And so I need to go home and get myself into a financial position where if something really strong, like really bad, happens to the boat, I can pay to fix it, and I can keep going. I'm so sorry that it took so long to update you, and I'm sorry that I ghosted, but I was down bad. I'm up now. I'm good. I'm feeling great. I'm excited for this year. I'm determined. I have a lot of work to do just to make the boat livable again, guys. So I will be updating you guys very soon on here and showing you the work. We are back to the work. We are back to sailing. We have a long journey ahead of us. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them below. I'm happy to dialogue with you. I can't wait to hear what you guys think of the plan. And if you need to chew me out because I went missing, I understand. I can take it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm so sorry. There's a few other things I didn't mention that we have planned for this year. Some of them have to do with the clothing, the merchandise. If you haven't gotten your merchandise yet and you signed up for Patreon, I'm so sorry. Even if you have decided to not support on Patreon anymore, I have your name. They are coming. We are doing some serious work on the clothing, and I think they're going to be really, really good. I think that you guys are going to love them. It's going to be a little bit more religious. The big thing that I want to talk about is I'm trying to make a change in my content, and I'm trying to make a change in my life. And I'm, my own understanding, I don't want to go home. I want to keep pushing, and I want to go through Panama right now. And I want to believe that I can make it work and make it happen, and it's all going to be okay. But I'm trying to listen to God, and I believe that God wants me to go home right now. And it is what is right for the channel, it's what's right for my life, it's what's right for my family. And I just hope that you guys enjoy it. I feel like it's going to be much more enjoyable and positive. And that's what I really want from this channel. I want this channel to be about freedom and adventure, but there's a reason why my boat is named Grace, and I want it to be a positive influence and something that I'm proud of. I encourage you guys to, again, dialogue with me below. Let me know what you think about this. I'm very interested. And please feel free to follow me on Instagram if you don't, because I'm trying to be much more consistent on Instagram, posting a video most days. I can't do it every day because I'm going to be sailing offshore and not have internet, but I'm hoping to do it most days and keep you guys informed. And there's going to be a little bit different type of content on Instagram than there is on YouTube, So if you don't follow in both places, maybe you should. And yeah, I'm sorry. Things are good though. And I can't wait to show you guys how bad the boat is. Bugs, bird poop, so much mold, and a lot of work cut out for us. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon, I promise. and thanks for the support. Mwah! Peace.
Feeling on my lips, you will never know. And the ray of my eclipse